Welcome to another video. As anyone who's been following this channel, feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you're not, by the way. I believe about 99% of people are not subscribed. All that good stuff. No fancy chart. But anyway, um, if you've been following the channel, one thing you'll know is being one of the world's richest hobos. I have spent a decent amount of time doing some different types of investments, done some crypto, done just some basic Bitcoin, bought some stocks, done some stock options. And one of the main things that's missing in my portfolio is real estate. Obviously, nothing that I would live in, but since most of you guys like to live in houses and apartments and things like that, thought it'd be something I would look into. Being as I don't have a lot of money, I search for something that allows you to basically buy fractional shares, put in a little bit when you can, and kind of go from there. And through all of that, I found a company called Fundrise. A lot of people were doing their 1, 3, 5 year reviews. And so around July, or maybe it was June, I had to look back, of 2022, I jumped in as well. Jumped in with $20. And this is going to be my 1 year review. So I can inspire others to decide if they want to get in.
Please give me a like and tell me in the comments if you are thinking about getting into Fundrise or if you're already in it.
Boom. All right. So we have a little more than $2,000 in the account. I believe I have it set to basically put in about $25, something like that. And then I've done a few random big pops to kind of get it up. Now, one thing you may notice right off the bat, let me go ahead and hide this, um, is these are in quotes, which may not mean anything to you in general, but this means negative. Negative $206.15. As you can see over here, also in quotes. So the overall return is negative 10%. Yikes. So you can kind of see here, it's kind of small. July 15, 2020, I had $20 in the account, and that was all that was in there. So originally, I'm not sure what it is currently, but when I first joined, there was, I want to say a $20 minimum, something like that. But as I decided to go in a little deeper, which was very soon after, you can see July 29th, I put in $1,000. So I went up to 1,020. And as you can see here, it started earning a little interest. So I jumped in, put a full thousand in there, kind of was like, let's see where this goes. Over the next couple months, it went up pretty decently. And then around October 21st here, which actually happens to be someone's birthday that I know, we put in another $1,000. So that got us up to 2,000. And it just slowly been climbing from there. But as you can see here, we went from 2136 to 1983. There are some down days, and one down day in particular that really kind of hit was right at the end of the year when it went from December, um see, like December 23rd right here, we dropped down to 1984. We dropped pretty significantly a few random times. But at the end of the year was really probably one of the worst ones. Let's see if we can see some more of the history here real quick. Let's see here. So total dividends, 771. So that may be something you'd want to know. So I put $2,000 in here. Essentially, all I've gotten, technically would have gotten out, is $7. Now I just happen to reinvest them back into the amount, because what am I going to do with $7? Um, but but that's something good to know. Gross dividends 1148, appreciation negative 214, and advisory fees negative 295. Now, advisory fees are things that are just kind of calculated in. So appreciation is actually where I got hit. The properties that were assigned to me, apparently lost a lot of value, even though values were somewhat exploding all over. That's where I got hit. And as you can see, it's still showing negative 214, which, our net return is actually a little bit higher than that. And that's because of the dividend is slightly offsetting it, if you can call it that. So I'm not mad about the advisory fees, but the appreciation, that really sucks, because it's like, why am I being punished for that? That's some of the gain that you get into it, that I got out of it, is appreciation. Um, and you kind of just got hit like that. So it can go both ways. It can go up, it can go down. Um, One thing that's really important if you get into something like Fundrise is your money is basically stuck for 5 years. So every time you put something in there, you have a 5-year waiting period before you can take it out. Just to put a little bit of an asterisk on that, every time you put something in there, it's 5 years. So, for example, if you put something in January 2020, you cannot get it back out till January 2025, literally 5 years from then. So this isn't a get rich quick type thing. Like, this money is going to be allocated, it's going to be tied up into properties. They're going to use it to develop things. And in that same light, um, I believe personally, even though this looks really bad, that within 5 years, these the appreciation will flip the other way. The businesses and the companies that my money is in will become better. They'll be The appreciation will go up, even if they sell them. That's potentially money that would go back into that. Um, Another important thing, dividends. So dividends come out quarterly, depending on the type of products and the different businesses they have. But one thing that's important to know is, if you reinvest them, they get their own clock. Meaning, remember my earlier scenario, I think it was January 2020 to January 2025. If in January 2024 you get a dividend, let's say of $100, and you choose to reinvest it, well, you can't get it out until January of 2029, because it's 5 years after. So what does that mean? In this case, I have $2,000 in there. I've been reinvesting my dividends. So that means that that original $20, I'll be able to take that out in 2027, right? And then I believe it's a month later, I'll be able to take out another thousand, and then I can take out the final thousand around October. Now, all the dividends I put in there, they all have their own clocks, and it can continue just as that. Now, one thing you could do is, after you wait the 5 years, then from then on out, you just take out the dividends. Okay, boom, 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 boom. You potentially would have grown the portfolio quite a bit by that point. I mean, even though my junk's down, you can clearly see this is a upward slope. And you can look too, like, okay, February 28th, 2034, 31st, 2070, 95. Like, we're jumping about what, $20 every time it goes up, and that's, every couple of days. So the value of it is rising pretty rapidly. And this looks like one of those things that if you put more money into it, you can accelerate it. The slope of the line that I have at the 2000 is much more than the slope of the line at the 1000. I believe, if I remember correctly, back when I only had $1,000 in there, it would go up, pennies a day. Okay, 12 cents, 15 cents, 14. It was something pretty small. Now, one thing that's kind of cool to look at, of course, is grain of salt. If anybody was into crypto and you saw the Lambo charts, it was like, if you put this amount of money in here with this percentage, this is when you'll hit the Lambo. Not exactly that, but basically, you put a goal in there and you say, hey, I want to get out a certain amount of money by a certain year. I believe mine was trying to see if I had it on here. 3,500 for I believe a year. So through the different dividends. And in order to really do that by 2029, 7 years from now, I would need to put in $37,000, give or take. So, okay, never mind. I said that slightly incorrectly. In order to get $1,000 a month, because it'd be $12,000 in returns, I needed to put in 37 in total. With that, but me being investing 25,000. So if I put $25,000 in here with the compound interest and all that kind of stuff, by the year 2029 in October, assuming appreciation doesn't keep getting shot in the face, um, I would have enough where I get $1,000 a month, which is I think it's a fair goal. The problem is after they had that huge drop, I lost some confidence in it. I started going a little bit heavier in the stocks and doing some other things, and I haven't been keeping this up. As you can kind of see here, to let me know I'm off track and I need to put another $2,000 in here just to get back to where I need it to be. Uh, I don't think I'm going to do that. I will put more money in here at some point. I will try to bump it up, see if I can catch it up a bit. But right now, I just seems like there's some a little bit better um, opportunities out there for me than to do this. You also have to keep in mind that because your money is stuck for 5 years, your hands are kind of tied. You sign a lot of documents at the beginning of this, but you have no real clue if Fundrise will be around in 5 years. They've been around for a while, so I don't personally think they're going anywhere. But real estate is taking such a huge hit that you never really know. You never really know what could happen 3 years from now, 4 years from now. And with my luck with crypto, they may not make it 5 years. I mean, I got into Horde probably 2 months before it went down. I got into yield nodes about 3 months before they stopped being able to pay out. Something else, I'm trying to think here. Thor, if you know Thorify, I was into that right around $10, and then I put in another amount of money. It went down to $3, and then I put in my final chunk around 30 cents, which is basically when, if I'm remembering correctly, when they basically turned off the old pricing structure, and Thor's and Odin's, um, the value of them all went down. How much? Slightly off track. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to get into Fundrise. If you want a more in-depth view of it, of how it works and what your portfolio is and things like that. I didn't really like show you guys all of that, but you can see your different buildings and kind of what your portfolio is made out of, and we can go from there. Anyway, in case you didn't know, I's a hobo. Thanks for watching.
If you want to know if I would do it all again, click on this video.